Hey everybody, my name is Akarwa. Welcome back to Let's Play Fragile Dreams. Just like last week, before we get going, we need to check out this one last room. Head around the corner, and in this small space, we will find blank body 7 and 8 with mystery item 4. But we did level off of it, so this is going to be a bit longer of an episode because I want to get some of our memory item storylines out of the way, and this is going to be the episode we do it. I'll be saving them all to the end, so if you haven't been enjoying them, you will get to skip the last 15 minutes of video.
I never expected a weakling like you to make it this far.
What are you? Hey, it's no use! Look out!
I do not have to answer to you. Any threat to the project must be eliminated.
Right, well, this fight is exactly the same as every other fight that we've had with him since after Lunar Hill Funland. He disappears, he tries to show up behind us and attack us, and then he disappears again. The only reason this is difficult now is because of how small this space is and how quickly he teleports away. I'm not going to show a boss strategy selection in this one because it is exactly the same fight, just do like last time. Note that we did pick up the item in the corner already. We'll check that out in a bit.
Fool. Your existence amounts to nothing more than a goldfish swimming upriver. When we were conceived, the age of man ended.
What? What are you talking about?
Our plan is on schedule. Make the most of the little time you have left.
We have to act fast!
Right.
Following the noise of the cat, we are supposed to head through this vent.
I guess the cat ran in here.
It'll be tight, but you can squeeze through. Be super careful.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot going on in these ducts. You'll see that there is a turn coming up on the map. But if you zoom out on your radar, you are actually able to see that it is a dead end before you even go down the tunnel. And the reason we're not going down that tunnel, by the way, is because there is absolutely nothing there. It's just a dead end. So, I don't know, that's kind of poor maze design in my book, but oh well. Well, this is a delightful looking place.
Explain yourself, Sai. Why did you let a human in here?
First, you answer a question for me. Why are you reviving Glass Cage? What are you trying to do?
You don't need to know that.
Please, tell me the truth. If what happened last time...
Words can be frustrating, troubling things, Sai. I thought you, of all people, would understand.
But Shin, it's just that... if we could just talk, I know that I'd be able to...
That's enough. Soon, everything will be in order.
Why can't he... I don't understand. Why can't he see? Let's go save that girl. Seto.
Yeah. Let's figure out where to go. There are a couple of different directions, and this is clearly not one of them. That is a big hole in the ground. In this room, there's a katana in the corner, and some neat little x-rays and things, but nothing else. We've got a bonfire that we're going to ignore because I don't want to look at memory items yet. Head right in this door, and we have some level 3 jellyfish to deal with. The spawn area for these jellyfish is the entirety of the room, so you fortunately don't have to worry about despawning them. The downside to that is, of course, that they will run quite a distance away if you let them. There's a mystery item on this table here. And a newspaper on the wall. Very faint drawing of a deer or something on the wall. And the pig from Lunar Hill Funland. This is a odd choice of things to have to look at while you're sleeping. It looks like that's about it. In this next room, we have some level 3 crying women to deal with. And I can hear 2 cries, which is why I'm a little hesitant to start attacking. Oh, that's where she went. She was stuck on game geometry. I don't think there are any items in this room to pick up, but I do want to look around and see what there is to see, because I think this area, more than any other part of the game, has the most background story content. Well, there's that hallway that we saw from the other room. In all but I think one of these rooms, we are going to have to deal with a collection of Runaway Children. This one, I kind of got stuck in the corner, and they just kind of took a lot out on me. That looks like it for this room. Let's go ahead and use a candy drop because we would like the extra space. And we'll also use that strange blue drink we just picked up so that we don't forget about it. Here in this room, we have no encounter. And I think that's it for this room. I know one of these rooms has a really hard to find item. I don't think it's this one. Another group of runaway children. This one I deal with a heck of a lot better than the last. Another look at the sick bed and the area around here. And alright, it took some looking, but I found that hard to find mystery item that I had mentioned in the last room. It was stuck up here on a shelf. There's a hammer here on the floor, but I need to rearrange my inventory to be able to pick it up. And I can't do that right now because I have more runaway children to handle. Checking which way it curves so that I know to move items in the correct position. If we put this here, oh, damn it, there we go. Okay, well, our inventory is pretty full. And we have more blank bodies. Fortunately, we do a good amount of damage by this point in the game, and this is a narrow hallway that we can hit all of them in. Get to do the same thing all over again. Whoops. We'll use this ration pack we've been carrying around because we have another one on the floor waiting for us. We're almost to the next bonfire. That sound means that we've got a heartless machinery up here on the corner. So we're going to switch to that hammer we picked up in the last room.
If the ID cannot be confirmed,
Whoops.
if the ID cannot be confirmed, it will be removed.
tried to get to him in time, and I did not. Take note from all of my mistakes. When you're fighting these guys, wait until they attack, and then respond. Don't try to cut them off. I was just being impatient.
If the ID cannot be confirmed, you will be removed. If the ID cannot be confirmed, you will be removed.
I think I can drop this hammer now and pick up this item. So let's go ahead and do that, because I don't really have anything else I want to drop. Frustratingly, last episode I bought an oxygen cylinder because I was worried that I wasn't going to get one before the end of the game, and then I get one right as we're getting to the end of the game. Oh, well, I guess we'll just have to beat this one up the old-fashioned way. You can see why I like to use the hammer, because the katana will not knock these guys down, no matter how much damage you do. This room looks much more up-to-date than the rest. And here is the next campfire.
So comfy.
And this is the point when we start all of our memory items. So if you want to skip them, now is the time to do it.
Whenever my fingers brush against the name engraved on the side, I remember her smile. You always need a pen, so this isn't another piece of clutter, she told me when she gave it to me. And it's true. I've never stopped using it. Whether I'm writing the truth or otherwise. Perhaps the end will come while I'm in the middle of writing. I'll be lucky to leave something behind, but that doesn't even matter to me anymore. I only regret not writing down more of what you said to me.
Here you are.
Thanks. Smells great. I swear, you brew a mean cup of joe.
You can thank the coffee maker for that.
No, it's more than that.
I don't have time for this. Please get back to your work.
Oh, come on. You deserve a coffee break too. Join me.
No, thank you. I have duties to attend to.
Always the diligent worker.
Compared to your idleness, perhaps, Doctor.
The team doesn't need a dimwit like me to get the job done right. They're plenty smart enough.
But, Doctor, you were supposed to be one of the finest in the world.
Yeah. That's why I think they made a mistake.
Hardly. All you lack is the drive.
I don't prescribe to the where there's a will belief.
Doctor.
I know. I've still got a job to do, so I'll do it.
In that case, would you please get on with it? I've gained so much. Gentle hands and many, many new names. Mondays, Henri. Tuesdays, Fleur. Wednesdays, Sylvia. Thursdays, Lot. Fridays, Bisque. Saturdays, Chris. And for just one day, I'm no one else but myself. It was supposed to be revenge. Revenge for the deceased girls who'd led a better life than I. With vengeance and blasphemy laid to rest, all that's left is me. A lie. Before I knew, I began wondering about the future. When? Tell me, when? When will I fall in love? Once I find someone who loves me, I'll finally be given a name. Not just someone else's substitute, but a name all my own. That's what I decided. So then why? Why did I have to meet him? He lived on a cliff face that looked down on the town. His features were considered striking, his posture regal. But those weren't the only things that made me stop in my tracks. I didn't really need a reason, because to him, it didn't matter what bell I put on. Nothing would change the fact that I was nothing. A bell with 2 stripes of light pink lay at his feet. It didn't belong to him. The bell, like his love, was waste on the street. His features knew despair. You could see the hollowness of death in his eyes. No matter how much I stared or spoke, he never once looked back at me. I gingerly pick up the rosy pink bell. Its soft sound should be enough to reach his ears, stir his heart, and open his eyes. Then, in a husky voice, he will speak in a tone drowning with emotion. He will call out the name of his past love.
Maria?
And I'll choke up with emotion and smile as I say, "That's right. I'm your Maria." And then there won't be any real me left in this world.
Please, tell me your real name.
I giggle softly and answer again. I'm Maria. His brow will surely furrow as he snuggles close.
That's not your name. It can't be.
But that's the name of your beloved, right? I loved you. But the one that you loved was never me at all. You loved the real owner of this pink bell. Imagine it. A rival whom even death couldn't kill. The one woman he really loved. I hated her, cursed her, and stole her name and identity. And I'd do it no matter how miserable it makes me.
Oh, Maria. If we'd never met, then I'm sure I'd have rotted away right on the spot.
Those are the only words that can bring me salvation now. As long as you're happy, then I'll never need a silly name. A storm was brewing. The high winds that had been beating on the windows since morning gathered dark clouds and pelted the forest trees. I leapt from the safety of the old woman's blanket, raced through the town, and headed for the mountain cottage, my old hideout. I'd take a bell and think about the past each time I came here. I go by many names now. So whose ghost remains in this dreary mountain hut? A brilliant flash of light, coupled with thunder, filled the sky. Every hair on my body stood on end. There was a tearing sound of wood splitting. Chills ran down my spine. I quickened my pace without thinking. A tremor crept down my back. The scene that greeted me as I reached that hut was indescribable. A massive cloud of smoke clogged my nose and burned my skin. The mountain was on fire, and the gusty winds helped spread the flames quickly. In my panic, I dove into the hut. The heat was as hot as stoked coals, but through the burning and stench, I knew I had to salvage my bells. They'd been proof that the girls had lived, and now they were the one place I felt at home. I gathered the 7 bells and made for my escape, but the hut entrance was already engulfed in flames. I leapt through a broken window, feeling as though I was being burned alive. I could hear the destruction all about me. Just outside the window was the cliff face I jumped down from my perch, prepared to take the dive. Through it all, I kept the 7 bells tightly held in my mouth. After falling unconscious, I awoke to the pattering of raindrops. I could still smell the mountainside burning. But the rain was now falling harder than before. I knew I was far from safe. Nestled close against the ground, I'd already lost the sensation in both my arms and legs. I asked the heavens if this was my punishment. Was this what I deserved for having taken the dead girl's happiness as my own in a twisted and shameless act? Through the ash-ridden world, a voice was calling me. No, that's not my name. And yet...
Maria! Maria!
Yes. The one calling me was none other than my beloved.
Maria, hang in there! Don't die on me!
Oh, yes. My love. My one true love. Don't give up. I whispered desperately. Don't give in to the despair. Please. Live. I thought that if he lost me, he'd never see his precious Maria again. And it wasn't just him. Henri, Fleur, Sylvia, Lot, Bisque, Chris. They'd all been beautiful. Don't kill me, I shouted. Please don't kill the ones you love. Trembling, I handed the 7 bells over to him. If you can, take these in my place. Just don't let their loving families lose all hope. He looked at me as if wanting to speak. Then, taking the bells with him, he turned and ran. As his figure became smaller and smaller, it was eventually washed away by the rain. I tried calling his name, but couldn't form the words. If I managed to speak, I might make the mistake of telling him something I could never say. As I thought about how the cold rain would sweep away the fire, along with my soul, I thought of the last person who'd considered me family. I may not have been the one they loved, but I certainly loved the warm and gentle hands that touched me. I lied and desecrated the dead, all for my revenge, and yet here I was, crying, here on the brink of death. I'd come closest to those girls, and could finally, truly, cry for them. After all, you know how it is. You must know, right? All you wanted was to live. The rain washed the mountainside gray, draining the light from everything. I was cloaked in darkness and rain. Then I heard the faint sound of a bell ringing. At least I could tell that my ears were still working. I focused my senses on the source. Then, just behind the sound, I heard footsteps and voices approaching.
Come on, Henri!
I thought I was hearing things. It had to just be a memory enclosed inside that bell, After all, no one would call for me.
Fleur! Sylvia!
It can't be. My eyelids fluttered. Why? From beyond the falling ash, I could make out figures. They circled around me. The boy, the boss, Mama.
What? Mask! Chris!
No, the children and the teacher, the master writer and grandmother. No. I tried to scream, but failed. No. Don't look at me. You'll see through my lies. Don't hate me. I was never the girls that all of you loved.
We already knew that.
Was the reply from the one who used the 7 bells to gather everyone here. You snuggled close to me as I was wrapped in a warm towel. As you kept me warm, you dropped the 7 bells.
We already knew that, all along.
He sounded on the verge of tears as he kissed my cheek.
Don't you see? The ones we loved weren't the ghosts from the past.
His words forgave me.
We all know you made up those lies to try and help us. No one else but you could have made us feel so good. Could bring us so much joy. It was all thanks to you and your 7 bells.
I closed my eyes, the tears still streaming. I thought my life was just one lie after another. But no longer. I finally understood it now. My name will be the 7-colored bell. A name given to me by my loving family and friends. I am Belle, carrying my 7 colors. I was the most loved in town. I am Belle, and I was the luckiest cat in the world for having 7 names.
And that story is finally reached a conclusion. We'll put this oxygen cylinder in our briefcase, along with this golf club. We don't need 3 weapons in our inventory. We'll save. And we'll call it a night. Thanks for watching. See you next week.